Brosplay!
Alrighty then. Ready to listen?
Yeah, is it sick?
It's pretty sick, brother. Put down some sick posts.
I just want to finish what I was saying there.
Please do.
What was I saying there?
Sorry, that's on you.
Oh, right. So, that scene we were talking about with Rise of the Tomb Raider, where I'm just jumping and skirting a helicopter, rockets and shit, and there's like a rocket flies past me while I'm while I'm rappelling. That scene is the over-the-top Tomb Raider that we want. Like, but it's in a serious game, so it's not so ridiculous that it's fun for like, because you know that they wanted to make it fun. It's a funny moment in an otherwise very serious, boring ass game. That's the tough thing.
And that's what's weird about it. Okay, sorry, can I point out something else that's really weird? There's no streetlights. How do people not die here every day?
This is like the rich part of town. Nobody dies here.
Everyone drives slowly. Generally, rich people tend to drive a lot faster than other people too.
Right.
So I'd be more worried in this part of town.
Because they can afford better healthcare and brakes.
I think it's because their vehicles are more likely to have more horsepower.
They're also more likely to have a thing where they think they're better than people.
That too.
And a general disconnect from the rest of the world.
That absolutely. It's kind of hard to relate to people who feel disenfranchised when you have all the money and the power.
Right. It's also easy to like ignore problems when you're not near them.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to be near them.
Well, they don't seem like they're problems when you don't have exposure to them on a regular basis.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, and you do have to give those people some slack, because you can't just expect that every person's day, every day, should just be filling their life with all of the misery they can find, so that they're, you know, humbled by the world. It's just a give and take. But at the end of the day, if you're an asshole driver, you're an asshole driver.
Oh, and people are asshole drivers at every level
of income.
Of income and race and religion.
Well, the two types of cars you always got to worry about are really, really nice and really, really shit cars. Those are the people who tend to be driving the craziest.
And red two-doored sports cars.
Yes.
Or so the insurance company tells us.
Evidently.
Okay, what happening now?
Yeah,
what's
what am
question
I
mark?
supposed
What's
to
blue
do?
flashing question mark?
Oh no, it's not listening.
Listen, man. I mean, that's what I'm telling you. Listen to me and listen.
Get in the Raven.
What is happening?
I don't know, but I see a
guy just said this is only the beginning. If you write this is only the beginning and it's your fault, like it's not like a boss telling you to write it, it's probably time to leave the project.
What is going on?
I think you have to get back
Probably
yellow question mark.
There's okay, they found it.
Oh, I see. They're using the listening post to figure out where the thing is. Okay. What's his name? Who wrote the music? Fuck. Who does Benny and the Jets?
Elton John.
Elton John, yes.
Benny.
He wrote the music for Lion King, and when he wrote the line "When I was a young warthog," he remarked to himself, "So it's come to this." And I fucking love that. But I mean, it's also kind of funny because it's a great film and the music is really good. So like, he may have considered it a sellout at the time, but it was actually a pretty good project.
It's hard when you write something like that, because you write it and then they bring in the actors and try and bring it all together. Whereas imagine if you had the ability to write it in the room with the actors, knowing like their strengths and their weaknesses, and yo, you gonna let me hijack you or what?
I think you have to shoot his tires or something.
Okay.
I can't imagine writing a Mitch show, getting all the footage together, and then just seeing what it's like 2 years later when someone else has been working on it with different actors.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what Mitch show is all about. Is like it's a reasonable thing that I can do without very much help at all.
And that's the big thing for you, is not requiring.
Yeah, is that like the only help I get from people is I give them idea. I show it to you and Dad to get ideas off you, to see what things worked and didn't work, and That beyond that help. Oh, it's the back. The back of your car is ridiculous.
But I think that part is cool because it becomes your project.
That's why it's called Mitch Show.
Yeah, which is also pretty cool. I like Mitch Show. I'm a
Sounds
big
like
fan.
Thank you. It sounds like the name a show a psychopath would make.
A little bit.
Hi, I'm Mitch.
And this is Mitch
This
Show.
is Mitch Show.
Fuck me, man.
Get in front of him.
That's-
You really got to spearhead this issue. You got to get in front of this issue, okay?
I
There's a
still
guy in
think
the back.
this is the most effective thing. I just need to push him up against something so that he can't go anywhere.
The distraction's too good. Oh no, you failed.
Oh no!
Get it, go,
Oh,
get it,
no.
get it. No,
Contract canceled.
the hostage was killed.
Yeah, I love that. That, you know, I didn't fail. There was no failure involved.
Oh yes.
This contract was just
I
canceled.
do that shit all the time. When someone's rude to me, when they tell me I made a mistake, I go, "Oh, was that not done correctly?" Instead of, "Sorry, that was my mistake."
By the way, bro, are we timing this? Did we reset that?
Ah,
I don't believe so.
well, it's okay because I have a new thing.
You have a new thing, eh?
I'm writing. I don't know if you noticed. I'm writing it down. I'm writing down starts and end times. So we began this episode roughly around 7 minutes ago.
Okay. So okay.
That was the actual time it took me to subtract 11 from 4. Was I right though?
Oh yeah, of course.
I was discussing this the other day. I think that concussion I got, funny enough, I'm pretty sure I was talking about the concussion I got when I went skiing during like the early days of Mercenaries. But anyway, I think it may have actually seriously impacted like my life. I'd be very interested to find out what my math marks look like before and after that, because like math is still to me like a block. It's like I try to do certain math. Wow. That was so cool the way that
Chaos.
the way that they stayed still. That was awesome.
Just
But
total
yeah, like
chaos.
when numbers cross over the 10 marks, it becomes very difficult for me. I can do math pretty well, like 20 minus 3 is I can very quickly do 17. But if you made it like a number that would bring me down below 10, it would take me much longer to do.
Yeah, I think that's actually very common for people. That's why what I usually do is I try and frame things in ways that reduce that problem. So if it's 17 minus 9, you take 17 minus 7, which is 10, and then you just take off the remaining 2.
Wow.
That's everything I do is always like that. I always chunk things down into
like-
smaller bits.
It's like an
that
abacus.
yeah, I guess kind of actually.
Did you fail this first
I
time?
did fail it the
Okay,
first time.
I thought
so
there
we
was just
kicked-
a two-step system. I love how that you just kicked that guy from Office Space out the door.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to get out of this get out of this truck? No. Fuck no. Hell no, man.
Fuck no.
I reckon you can get your ass kicked for saying something like that. Do you know what like the lead up for that is?
Yeah, I asked him if he has the case of the Mondays.
No, he says at your job, it was a construction job. He's like, at your job, if someone said, or could you imagine someone saying, someone's got the case of the Mondays? Because that's something that someone says to him in the office that he hates.
Oh man.
That's an excellent film. Sort of in the line of American Beauty. Just a film about ditching what is considered to be like almost the American dream of like having a job and shit like that.
Well, it's also a movie that really portrays the reality of the world.
Oh, the whole flair thing with Jennifer Aniston, where he's like, you know, we really encourage you to have more flair on your uniform. And she's like, I have the minimum 12 pins on there. And he's like, yes, of course, that's the minimum. But we really encourage you to put more enthusiasm into it. And she's like, but I don't want to do it, so it would be wrong. And he's like, yeah, I understand, but we really encourage you. Like, I've had so many bosses like that just do not fucking hear what you're saying. And they don't care. Because it's just, I'm just doing my job, man. I'm just doing my job.
Well, and who are you that you would put in a minimum and then imply to people with this tone that they should be exceeding the minimum, then increase it. If you think they should be doing more, increase the minimum.
And sadly enough, that is not even close to the sneakiest stuff that you hear about.
Yeah, I know. The things that employers think they're entitled to simply because they pay money to a person is actually gross.
And it's really fucked up that they don't. Wow.
Is that a toothpick or a cigarette? Oh, it's a sucker. I think it's actually a sucker.
Why can't it be both? Why can't it be a match?
Oh,
holy shit, their mechanic looks like he came straight out of a magazine.
Is he a mechanic?
Isn't he? Or
I
is he
think
the
he's a
helicopter
pilot? Yeah, he's the pilot. Well, what a
wow, that guy's
weird-looking dude.
photogenic.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I don't remember.
Before that creepy looking dude?
What was I saying?
I was saying that it's gross how much
Yeah. It's not viewed as a business relationship. It's something for something. I give you my time for a business all revolves around service, time. Well, I know. So, yeah, a service or a product for a service or a product or money. Any one of those three things in exchange is the basics of business, right?
Yeah.
So an employee offers a service for money. It's an exchange. It should never be viewed as like, I pulled you out of the fucking dirt and gave you a job. And it's like, yeah, I also did the job, and you wouldn't have that if you didn't pay somebody for it.
It's kind of part of the deal.
That's just how it goes. And when respect is not given, it's a two-way street. And there are so many ways that a disgruntled employee can harm your business when they don't even have to want to. There's just like an employee that doesn't want to do the job right, it can like completely fuck you over.
Yeah, people underestimate the power of negligence.
Oh yeah.
They seriously
I have stopped going to
power.
places because they have employees who are just fucking trash.
Yeah.
Like I went into a unnamed sub joint. It was
potentially the biggest subjoint.
I don't know. I don't know about those numbers. It was like 2-3 hours before close. And I said, "Can I meet at Meatball Sub?" And they said no. And we stared at each other. We stared at each other for like what felt like a minute. It was probably more like 10 seconds. I just couldn't believe that like there was no follow-up to what they said. And we were just sitting there and I'm like, are you out? Yeah. It's 3 hours before close. Like the response could be, we're making more. It'll take a while, or something along those lines. But I just ordered something else, and then I never went back. Years I haven't been back to that place because of that one experience.
It's a terrible experience, man. It ruins it.
I shouldn't have to feel bad that I want something from a business. If you want it unreasonably, like if you come into a restaurant 5 minutes before they close and you want to order food, that's pretty unreasonable. But if you just want food at a reasonable expectation, you shouldn't feel bad for being there.
That's the way, yeah, that's what you're supposed to be doing, is going in and ordering food.
Even if it's busy. You know, something I used to hate when I worked in food service was when you told somebody it was an unreasonably long amount of wait time and they said that's fine. It's like, I hated that because I was like, no, it's not fine and I want this to stop. But that's not reasonable of me to expect them
to be upset,
to not want what they're here for. That's really what they're here for. You call a business to get the thing you're asking for. So if you're willing to wait for something and you're going to be reasonable about that wait, you shouldn't have to feel bad about that.
I see what you're saying though. Is that you want to be able to give them what they deserve as a customer, and you're just not able to because you're not.
No, I meant I was selfish in wanting them to not order when I'm telling them that the wait time is actually 10 times longer than normal.
So you're trying to tell them to go away.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, for sure, they definitely don't get the proper experience.
I lost by 4 seconds.
Wow.
Oh well.
They definitely get a shitty experience when you do that. Like when you're offering a 15-minute delivery time and there's a snowstorm, so it's a 3-hour delivery time. They're getting a really shitty experience from it. And like, you could wait 3 hours and get the wrong pizza. Like, whoa.
That's gotta be rough. I just don't understand how people are okay with that.
In extreme circumstances, I can understand like when you're out of power and you don't, and everything you have in your house requires cooking. And yeah, but at the same time, like there's definitely places that aren't rocking 3 hours. Like during those times, like I was just at a very, very busy place.
Yeah, and it's just weird. I totally see what you're saying. There's a bunch of times where you just don't want to work, so you're just hoping somebody else comes up with an excuse for you not to work. You know?
Yeah.
You don't want any more customers, so you want the customer to make the decision that they don't want to come to your store. Right? Because you don't want to tell them. Like, you don't want to say, hey, don't come here, because then you're losing out on money.
That's basically it.
Yeah. Oh, man. I just don't like the... I don't like the corporate aspects of businesses of that size, where it just seems like you get to a point where it's nearly impossible to care about the employee because of bad apples. Like,
there's too many of them too, and you're trusting managers to report information properly and all that shit, and to not be abusing it too. And that's the really common thing in shitty food service businesses, is that the managers aren't the best for the job. They're the ones who will do it.
Yeah, and especially for that wage.
And I've seen several people, the irony, I guess, is that I've seen several people so qualified for the job that they don't take it because they recognize what it is.
They don't want to do it.
Yeah, like I had a buddy, and he was management at a different place, and he left because it was garbage. And at this place, they immediately recognized that he was management material and offered it to him. And he's like, he very, kindly denied it. And then we were talking about it later, and he's like, "Fuck no!" He's like, "Man, I've done this." He's like, "I know what it is," and that's the problem. You have bad upper management, which creates an environment that breeds the worst type of managers. And then everyone coming into it, with a positive attitude is beaten down by the ones without positive attitudes.
I know, there's so much of that. You really can only do so much. You only have so much in the tank to try and resist that shittiness.
That other people say that, because you're supposed to be stealing fuel from the tanks.
I don't think that's actually my mission here.
No, but you could certainly use it.
I could.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well,
oh, that did it.
Nice legs.
Yeah, some good looking legs.
I gotta say, of all the operators in this game, I would say that Milton has the second best legs.
Second best legs, right after Mewy.
Jacobs.
Okay, Jacobs probably has strong ass legs. I want to figure out where to buy things.
It's from supplies, man, or her.
From here?
There you go.
No, so these are supplies that are already available to me.
They cost oil. Oh, I see. You mean buy stuff with your money.
Yeah.
It's probably from her.
But she doesn't seem to have that option. So, okay, this is this guy. These are exits. Can I? Ooh,
I don't remember being able to actually buy guns. I remember.
Well, you can't buy guns, but I want to be able to buy C4 drops. I want to be able to buy... So I talked to her, and I'm pretty sure she's only missions.
And one of these options could be a different thing. Talk? No, that's just talking. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, okay.
We may just be waiting for the next piece to be added to this place.
Yeah, there's probably a dude.
It's probably a store, yeah.
I think it's in there.
It might be. This is what I was thinking earlier. I was gonna come running in here.
No, what I mean is that
eventually
it gets set up in here. Yeah.
Okay.
Look at all this store space, man. You can make a really great arms.
Look at all this room for activities.
That's a great dead meme. It's been dead for about 10 years. Thanks for bringing it back.
I don't even think that movie was 10 years old.
Thanks for dragging. Yeah, it's got to be.
You think it was made in 2008?
I was out of high school 8 years. 8 years ago, and that was like mid high school.
Oh shit! So maybe it was. Yeah. Okay, that is a long time.
Pretty sure that movie was out when COD 4 was popular, which is 2008.
Oh, by the way, this is Fiona's car.
Oh.
So you're not supposed to take it, and I actually had to pay her 10 grand for blowing it up last time.
I'm pretty sure you can. Those are airstrikes that you can be picking up every time you leave.
They are. You are correct. I'm in too much of a rush for that. Oh man, I just love the chaos in this game. I like how the cars feel a lot faster in this game too.
They are.
Versus the first one.
Well, I think part of it is that you're closer and there's a better effect. Like the effects feel better on your speed.
Things also pop in at a spot where you can see them. In Mercenaries 1, they would pop in right before you hit them, so you wouldn't be afraid, you'd just be dead.
There's no fear when you don't know what the danger is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Don't.
This is intense. I'm not even really sure what I'm supposed to be doing here.
You're already maxed out on your fuels.
Oh no, I came here with a single... Oh. Oh, man.
That was too good. Sometimes the comedy writes itself.
It certainly does. It was what I was telling you earlier, man. It's the physics. The physics makes everything fun.
Yeah, that is a huge portion of the video I'm working on right now. It's like funny because like everything is like physical and silly and overdone. Not overdone, but like...
But silly.
There was an era of gaming where animation was just at a pretty decent point, but it was rigid enough to be hilarious. And this is actually that time. Like 2004 to maybe 2009. 2009, that's what we call it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's how we say it.
I'm just gonna see. I love how he throws it. Yeah, that's unreal. Is it a helicopter or some shit?
No, maybe.
Fuck.
Is RPGs in the roof?
Yeah, a guy on the roof.
Are you supposed to just throw down a, what's it called in here?
Transit, eh? Throw down a what? A beacon?
Yeah, destroy it. This is an optional target.
I know. I'm not gonna have time for a mission, so I was just gonna do this. I just need C4. Oh.
You don't have a airdrop?
I don't know. I have 0 airstrikes, unfortunately, at the moment.
Wow.
Whoa.
This is danger close, bro.
Yeah, that is. I mean, danger above.
No, I meant like the guy firing it is firing the RPG too close to where he is.
That's so true. Imagine he hits like the wall he's standing on and just goes plummeting to the earth.
Fun fact, danger close is 600 meters.
In case you were curious.
Yeah. Which is actually like a lot of distance, which really tells you just how dangerous an airstrike is.
600 meters?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long way, dude.
Yeah.
That 600 meters isn't because you're gonna blow up in the explosion.
No, it's shrapnel.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much debris involved in an explosion. And that's what they never comment on in movies and things. You know, like cool guys don't look at explosions.
They do in the Pacific. Artillery comes down and this like one civilian gets killed by a piece of wood. Nicely done.
Nice.
It's fucking brutal too. It's really well done.
I love it.
Not that.
Love it.
Not that.
You're talking about the civilian getting taken out by the piece of wood?
Yeah.
Does sound pretty brutal.
Because like you see,
maybe I love that too.
You see not enemies. You see people in the distance and an explosion, and there's not a lot of impact. But you see a person get killed by a flying piece of wood through their chest, and there's quite an impact to that. It stuck with me to this day. I don't remember half of the people that die in that show, and I remember that one because it's so unusual and like gritty and gory.
Part of it that's also really fucked up is that you realize that anything can kill you if it has enough speed and it hits you in the right spot.
There's a CSI episode where somebody kills someone with a blank.
Oh yeah, well that's how
Yes.
so Brandon Lee died.
Brandon Lee, yes.
Getting shot with a blank. Wow, that was amazing, quite honestly. Really amazing.
I can't believe you flipped my car.
Our company has a policy against bungee cords, and I was kind of...
As in, like, to tie things down?
Yeah. They prefer, like, those ratchet straps, the ones where you have to... Ratchet!
Ratchet!
Anyways. And I was, like, inquiring about why. I was trying to figure out if there was...
Someone took one in the face.
Yeah, someone took one to the head, and it actually killed them.
What?
Yeah, because it's a steel hook on the end of a big elastic band, right? So
I guess if you tied it tight enough, it would have a lot of, yeah.
My rule with elastic bands, with bungees because I still do use them. I think I might have to call for him. Yeah, okay. My rule with bungees is, you know how when you pull a bungee cord out, it gets to a certain point and then it gets way harder to pull it after that point? So I only pull the bungee up to that point. If it can be done with that, great. If not, I use something else.
Yeah, I have a feeling that death was a pretty extreme circumstance. It was probably stretched as tight as possible, and then something like violently shook it, like it like pushed it so it had even more impact, and then it probably hit them in the really like soft spot in the back of their head or something like that.
Well, my guess is that it didn't. Nothing slipped. What it was connected to broke.
Oh.
So let's say connected to like the metal of your car, and I bet you it was like so much pressure that it just something ruptured. And man, when something rips like that, there's just you're fucksville. There's nothing to be done.
Well, I'm pretty sure those ratchet straps are more consistent though, aren't they?
Oh, way more consistent. Well,
and like reliable.
And also you always want to use like a strap, because have you ever seen a strap rip? It starts to fray, and then a couple of them rip, and then a couple more of them rip, and then a couple more of the strings rip. So the strap doesn't go all at once.
Right.
But when a chain breaks or when an elastic breaks, they just fucking go, and that's it.
I one time was tuning a guitar and tuned the one string too tight, and it snapped, and it came back, and it actually left like a welt straight across a bunch of my fingers.
Holy shit. Well,
Yeah,
there
man.
you go, man.
It's fucking dangerous.
Yeah, they actually don't allow, well, not, some people do, but for the most part, they try not to allow the use of chains to haul vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you're pulling someone out of the ditch in the snow.
They usually use them as like backups, right? Like that's usually how you like attach like a trailer. It's like a hitch, then a chain.
Yeah.
Chain's just like an emergency thing.
Well, and they're, I forget exactly what those are for, but those are in case the ball comes off. Because that actually happened to us once.
Yeah.
Dad and I were driving through town with a camper on the back. Went over this little hill, and it was just enough to make the angle for the ball to come off. And so now we're going down the hill with the trailer chasing us, just dragging along the road, because now it's got the, you know, that steel post that it sits on.
Yeah.
That thing is just piling itself down into the asphalt, just making this horrendous noise. The cylinders, because there's propane tanks, right? They start going rolling down the hill. So we're in this little town. We're coming flying down this hill. Dad's trying to slow down at the same rate the trailer's slowing down because he didn't want to get hit by it. And basically the only thing that kept the trailer like behind us was the fact that the chains were there,
right,
holding it in place. But man, was that chaos. We were so lucky there was one of those little gravel shoulders at the bottom of the hill.
Oh, fuck.
Holy.
It could have been worse.
It definitely could have been worse. Just glad it wasn't.
Well, thank you for joining us. Next time, maybe more wild stories.
Probably.
Definitely more, yeah.
More of that.
More of that, yeah. Oh. Wow.
Wow.